Jordan here, aka The Punisher. Now, I might not be competing today, but whew, you best believe I can't wait to watch the FCL out of today's event. Just like the weather in LA, we've only had one season of the FCL so far, but oh my goodness, what an incredible season it has been, all leading up to today. Today we have not just one, but 4 matches, and it's about to get lit. And what is match number 2? We're gonna find our number 1 contender when Mad Max Haddad himself goes up against Alex the Melody Marzoña. So far, Alex has been singing a pretty sweet tune this season, but will today be the day that Mad Max composes Alex's swan song? But today we're gonna find out if his gameplay is more Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway or Dear Evan Hansen the movie. Mad Max is having an incredible year because not only is he up for number 1 contender of the FCL, he also won a Tony Award this year. This is definitely a match not to be missed because clearly, whether it's with a guitar or on the stage, these guys know how to play well. Get it? Because you play guitar, and then also you win a Tony Award for plays, and then right now we're gonna play the trivia game. Triple pun! Like they say, all's fair in love fair and warfare. FCL warfare starts now. Punished.
And we're back here on FCL Warfare. The vote Brad Gilmore joined by Steph Sabra. Let's talk about number 1 contender, Alex Marzoña versus Mad Max Haddad. The winner will have a championship opportunity at the beginning of next season. How do you feel about that?
I'm really excited about this match because these two know each other, and that always makes it a little bit spicier. I also think that they have a equal love of the league, and that adds another layer of excitement. And with Alex, I feel like he's an underrated player. He's undefeated, but he's not really treated like that. And I think that that's motivating him. We were talking a little bit about it on SEN today. And I think with Mad Max, he has a lot of goals in the league, and he has since the beginning, and a ton of potential. So these two going head to head against each other makes all the sense in the world, and I have no idea who's going to come out on top.
Let's not waste any time. Let's take a look on how we got here right now. This is number 1 contender on the line, Max versus Alex.
This is arguably the biggest match of my career. A number 1 contender match? It's what I deserve. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about my trophies. You know who needs to worry though? My opponent, the Melody, Alex Marzoña.
Mr. Haddad, I am not the reason no one trusts you. Everybody knows what you don't know. I will not equivocate about my knowledge. Adage positive, pay me them homages.
How does Marzoña, an arrogant opponent, musician, scoundrel, rascal, somehow become a number 1 contender, my enemy, a man I've despised since the beginning? Try to keep me from winning.
I thought I was a friend though. Now that you're mad, Max, it makes me sad. Max, your matches show cracks and fast gaps, so this match might be your last gasp.
Dear Alexander, I am slow to anger, but I bide my time as I prepare for the match. Me versus you, a crime. I look back on where you failed, and in every place I've checked, the only common thread has been your disrespect.
I have not been shy. I am just a guy in the public eye, trying to do my best in the FCL.
Now you call me Mad Max, a dangerous disgrace? If you've got something to say, the trivia ring is the time and the place.
Don't forget the Anya Maxwell. I have the honor to be your obedient servant.
I have the honor to be your obedient servant. M. Had.
A. Marzoña.
And one last thing, I always forget the Enye.
We just saw the promo between Alex Marzoña and, of course, Mad Max Haddad, which, by the way, we just finding out that Mad Max has aligned himself with the Flying Cow, and James Shimo is now part of the Sinister Syndicate.
I know, they kept saying we have another player joining our syndicate. We have another player. I'm like, who could it be? And then once the news broke, I'm like, this makes all the sense in the world, but I'm worried because I don't know what this means for Mad Max. But it feels like it could be a good grouping coming together. But I'm really, really looking forward to this match specifically because these two competitors have really made a name for themselves, but haven't gotten any belts or titles or anything. So for them to be competing in this title match now is going to be really a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And you know what? I think that Mad Max had a lot of hype coming into this season. A lot of people were talking about him as being like kind of the heir apparent to the singles gold. Now he finds himself one win away from challenging for that championship against either the winner of Zaflirt and Flaus, who he's been calling out all season, or Travis Fishburne. And of course, Alex Marzoña, I feel like has been left out. Like, people didn't really think that he was going to beat Aaron Turner. People didn't think he was going to win his next match after that and the match after that. Now here he is, 3-0 versus 3-1. They are evenly matched as ever, and we're about to bring in our two competitors right now. Steph, are you ready?
Yes.
And here we go. Introducing first, with a record of 3 wins and 1 defeat, representing the Sinister Syndicate, Mad Maxwell Haddad. There he is. Mad Max Haddad, 3-1, challenging for the #1 contendership. Max, I got to ask you here off the top, before we even get to Alex Marzoña, which I'm sure Steph is going to ask you about, the Syndicate. Why the Syndicate, and why now?
Well, the thing is, I've been with the Syndicate since the beginning. It was just about finding the right time to parse out that information. There has been things that have been going on behind the scenes of this league all season that I've had a side eye at, or it made me roll my eyes. And now I feel like I can finally be assertive and attack those things with what I feel it needs. I've been called Mad Max for a reason. That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't cutesy because of the movie with Tom Hardy. That was because I'm mad and I'm angry and I'm ready to show why.
Wow. It's so interesting hearing this because I feel like you were the sweetheart of the league. The fans love you for being like, well, at least on my end, I feel like Mad Max, he's so awesome and loving. But now with the Syndicate, I guess that doesn't mean that you necessarily won't be those things, but maybe just a little bit more mad. But on the topic of tonight's match against Alex Marzoña, I feel like you guys have similar knowledge base from what we've seen in your performances in the FCL. How do you feel about going up against him particularly?
It's no secret that Alex and I are friends. I've known him for years. We hang out in person, but he's had a lucky road to get here today. I would say that his opponents thus far lost more than him winning, and I'm getting ready to show him why this is my match to lose and why he's going to be crying himself to sleep tonight. And by the way, Brad, I just wanted to mention it's a real shame I don't have a trash can around my desk so I can bang on it and hope to steal some of these answers and give myself a leg up. There you go, buddy.
For you. Know your role and shut your mouth, Max. All right. That is, Max, I would say good luck to you today, but I hope that you don't need it or deserve it for that matter. There he is. There he is. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You can't talk about my strokes like that. I understand. Woo! Look, we made mistakes. We made mistakes. We're not perfect. We're not. No one is. Okay.
Yeah.
And introducing his opponent. With a record of 3 wins and no defeats, he is Alex Marzoña. There he is, the music man.
Everybody.
Don't forget the Inya. He is Alex Marzoña. Alex, #1 contender. You're 3-0. You're undefeated. You're tied for the second best record in the league right now. How does that make you feel going into this match today?
I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me to perform today. And, Maxwell said, My opponents have been losing more than I've been winning, and I agree with that. I've gotten very lucky, but today, I'm bringing the heat. I'm coming strong. I'm concentrating. I'm gonna earn this win today, and I'm coming. I'm ready to play.
And you're bringing sexy bag, might I add.
Agreed. It's interesting that you and Mad Max have a friendship, and I feel like he's coming into this match with more like energy and mad anger than usual. And do you think, like, are you nervous at all about how you're going to be with competing against an actual friend of yours?
I mean, as I said this morning on SCN Live, Steph, I'm pretty chill. Got to stay modest. Got to know what I know, and just trust that.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see, Alex, who the victor is and who will be the number one contender. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
All right. Now we have our two competitors. We have Mad Max Haddad. We have Alex the Melody Marzoña. Here are the rules for round number 1. Each player will receive the same 8 questions. They'll write the answers they have on the whiteboards or writing surface they have in front of them. They have 15 seconds to speak and reveal the answer they have written. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. If you get all 8 correct, we'll ask you a 9th question worth an additional 1 point. 3 question repeats for a match, which we call the JTE rule, and 1 challenge per match. If you feel as though your opponent's answer or question isn't exactly correct, you will challenge it and we'll take it under advisement. Those are the rules for round number 1. As we come back, Steph, it's time. It's time to ask the question of all questions. Mad Max, are you ready?
We all go a little mad sometimes, Brad.
The Melody, Alex Marzoña, are you ready?
Let's go.
Oh, look at that. And Steph Sabra, can you sing? Are you ready?
Really quickly, these two did not come to play when it comes to fashion. Great work on the looks, boys. And also 2 of my favorite music soundtracks to come out to. Just got to get that out of the way. And yes, Brad, I'm ready, boat.
Then
Let's get.
And here we are. Round number 1, question number 1 in our number 1 contenders match is in the category of horror. Your question. What 2000s horror film features Christopher Eccleston, Naomi Harris, and Cillian Murphy?
If you had to go on a coffee date with one of the main villains in horror, who is it?
Ooh. Well, I feel like the best conversationalist would have to be Freddy Krueger, right? 5,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2.
Others aren't much of
1.
talkers.
If I'm looking for stone cold good looks, Jason. And we go to Mad Max first.
I do believe that's 28 days later.
28 days later is correct. Alex.
28 days later.
That is correct. 1-1.
Question number 2 in the category of the 1990s. What 1992 film features Whoopi Goldberg as a lounge singer who joins a convent?
I've said this for a long time. I'm like a major Whoopi Goldberg fan in all facets. And do you want to know something? I've seen every episode of The View since I was 7 years old.
That explains so much, Brad.
3. That is wildly impressive. 2. 1. Hands down, hands up. We go to Marzoña first.
Sister Act?
Sister Act, a great movie, and a point for Marzoña. Mad Max.
Of course it's Sister Act.
And another point for Mad Max. And a point of honor, I guess, for Brad.
What up, Whoop? Our third question is in famous actors and actresses.
She's not watching.
She's watching me at all times. What actress features in the following 3 films? Blade Runner 2049, The Turning, and The Martian.
What?
No, go for it.
I was going to say, I think you made the right choice with Freddy Krueger because there's more conversation to be had.
Right. He's a little off. 5, 4.
Can you repeat the question?
3. Yes, I can. We all have our problems, Steph, Freddie included. What actress features in the following 3 films? Blade Runner 2049, The Turning, and The Martian.
Some more than others. However,
Like who's the solid, who's the most handsome or attractive of the bunch? 5, 4,
Chucky.
2, 1. You have some issues there, and we go to Mad Max Haddad.
Couldn't pull it.
Couldn't pull it. Marzoña.
Got nothing.
Oh, we're looking for Mackenzie Davis. Mackenzie Davis. So perfect rounds off the boards. We get to question 4.
At least they didn't answer Chucky. We get to question number 4 in the category of fantasy sci-fi. Who directed the 1984 adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune, starring Kyle MacLachlan, making his feature film debut?
Did we like the new Dune?
My beating heart, yes.
It's good?
My gosh, it's
Very much.
excellent. You gotta see it. Go. We need an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up. We go to Marzoña first.
David Lynch.
David Lynch is correct for another point. Mad Max.
This one's for you, Video Drew. It's David Lynch.
Correct for a point, and we stay
All right.
tied up.
All tied up. Question number 5 in the category of comedies. In 2003's Anger Management, Jack Nicholson plays Dr. Buddy Rydell, who elects to live with his patient, played by whom?
I have a movie joke for you.
Am I ready? Let's do it.
What's do Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common?
What?
I'll tell you after this in 5, 4, 3.
Suspense. Go to Max.
Adam Sandler.
The Sandman and Marzoña.
Adam Sandler.
All right. Tied up. And before we get to question 6, the answer, Steph?
I see dead people. Okay, I'm done. Question number 6. I'm done. I promise I'm done for the rest of the match. Question number 6 in the category of action adventure.
I used to like you, Steph.
No, Mad Max, I need you on my team. What 2010's Antoine Fuqua directed action thriller features Denzel Washington, Bill Pullman, Melissa Leo, and Pedro Pascal?
Steph, I mean, really, where are you getting these jokes from? Like, where are they emanating from? I've never heard you like this.
Listen, you've never seen this. I get unruly in San Diego. It's not my place. We need to answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up. We go to Marzoña first.
Is it The Equalizer 2?
It is The Equalizer 2, and that's correct for a point, Mad Max.
I put the first one.
Oh, wow. All right. First blood from Alex. And we get to question 7. What 1993 coming-of-age drama stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp, and Juliette Lewis? Were you a DiCaprio person or a Depp person? Like, I'm talking like, you know, in
Childhood.
Yeah, childhood.
Depp, for sure.
Yeah. Leo's grown up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's really trying to make the dad bod work. And we go to Mad Max.
It is.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
What is eating Gilbert Grape? Well, that's correct for 1 point. And Alex?
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
All right. Alex maintains his lead. It is 6-5.
We move to the final question in round 1 in the category of directors. What action trilogy has entries directed by Martin Brest, Tony Scott, and John Landis?
I wonder if it like creates just a bunch of uncomfortable situations when you have a last name or a first name that it's the same as a part of the anatomy. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Because I'm that person that would cause the conversation about it. We need to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hands up. We go to Marzoña first.
Beverly Hills Cop.
That is correct for a point, Mad Max.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Another point
All right.
for Mad Max.
Like, can you imagine if your name was Richard, but you chose to go by Dick? It is 7-6 now. 7-6 right now at the end of round number one. And we get to round number 2 in our number 1 contender match, which we call the whirl round. Round number 2 works just like this. Each player will get a spin at the category wheel. They can respin once unless they land an opponent's choice. You'll get 4 questions from that chosen category. Questions are worth 2 points each, unless you go to multiple choice, and the value drops down to 1. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal in this round if a competitor gives an incorrect answer. Of course, repeats and challenges are still in effect. As we get back to the board here, Alex Marzoña, the Melody, is up by 1. Alex, would you like to spin first or defer to your opponent?
I will defer to Maxwell.
All right, defer to Maxwell we will go. So, Max, we'll pull up the wheel for you. There it is. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
Let's give the wheel a whirl.
Let's do it.
All right.
It's a close match so far. It's only going to get better from here.
3 rounds. Unlike and we land on Francis McDormand.
Let's spin it one more time.
Gonna go one more whirl. Let's give it to him.
Give it here. No Francis today for Mad Max, perhaps.
New Star Wars champion Brendan Moore. I want to give a big shout out to him again. Great job. And we land on Mr. Edward Murphy. Edward Murphy is what we're going with. And I will be administering the questions. And Sir Edward Murphy for Mad Max Haddad. I hope you have your trash can and bat ready, Max, because you might need it as we get to your first question in Eddie Murphy. Who plays Hakeem's father, Jaffe Joffer, in the Coming to America films?
Let's do multiple choice.
And your options. Is it A, James Earl Jones, B, Morgan Freeman, C, Danny Glover, or D, Mr. Sidney Poitier?
It's A, James Earl Jones.
Voice of Darth Vader is correct. James Earl Jones is correct. Also the voice of Mufasa. Hopefully that's not a question later as we move on to your next question in Eddie Murphy. Who stars as Louis Winthrop III, a wealthy commodities director whose life gets crossed with Eddie Murphy's Billy Ray Valentine in 1983's Trading Places?
That would be Dan Aykroyd.
Mr. Dan Aykroyd is correct for 2 points. That is correct for 2 points. And your next question. Eddie Murphy has directed 1 film in his career. Name it.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights is correct. Harlem Nights is correct. And your final question in Eddie Murphy. You can find Eddie Murphy as Jim Evers alongside Terrence Stamp, Wallace Shawn, and Jennifer Tilly in what 2003 horror comedy?
That would be the Unfortunately Awful, only because I'm such a huge fan of the IP it's based upon, Disney's The Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion is correct for 2 more points. In the realm of Eddie Murphy, played poker one time with Jennifer Tilly. She's a trip. As we get to now, Alex Marzoña. Your turn. You're down now by 6. Max takes the lead, 13-7. Let's pull up the wheel for old Alex. Marzoña, are you ready?
Let's give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
You were just called old, Alex.
Come on, Brad.
I think we might be the same age.
We are.
Sorry, it's like I'm saying it to you. Movie release dates.
I'll take it.
Oh,
Take
do
it. Okay, sticking with movie release dates is Alex Marzoña, and Steph Sabra will be administering the questions.
That's bold. This is usually a category people spin away from. Alex says, let's do it.
Gotta take
So
some
for your
chances.
first question in movie release dates, Shia LaBeouf was in 2 films in 2008. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was one. Name the other.
Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye is correct for 2 points in a surprisingly great film. As we move to your second question in round 2. This year was a big year in science fiction as Star Trek, the motion picture, Alien, and Moonraker all were released.
1979.
Damn, 1979, correct for 2 points for Alex Marzoña. As we move to his third question in round 2 in the category of movie release dates. What year was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 released?
That would be the year 2010.
2010, correct again for 2 points for Alex Marzoña as we move to his fourth and final question in round 2 for so far killer round.
Incredible.
What year in the 2010s did not feature the release of a Pixar film? You need to answer in 5, 4, 3.
Let's repeat.
2. All right, with your first JTE of the match. What year in the 2010s did not feature the release of a Pixar film? You need an answer in 5, 4,
2014.
3. I don't know how you did that, but 2014 is correct again for 2 points. This was a hard question.
Wow. What a round. What a round right there by Alex Marzoña. Don't forget the Inye is correct. An incredible round in movie release dates. Wow. Okay. Now here we are, Steph Sabral. It's 15. It's 13. It's a 2-point match going into round number 3. The winner will face the winner of our match in our main event, Zaflirt and Flowers versus Travis Fishburne. Incredible stuff so far. As we get to round number 3, the rules in our final round work just like this. Each player will receive 3 questions from 3 categories. They will first select 3 numbers that correspond to those categories between 1 and 20. The questions can be worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. You have 15 seconds to answer the question. There are no stealing or multiple choice in this final round. However, you still have your JTE rules and you still have your challenge if you need it. And we come back. Alex, you are in the lead. We need your 3 numbers between 1 and 20 first.
1 and 21st. 6, 13, and 17.
6, 13, and 17. And now it's time for you, Max.
Let's do 3, 9, and 7.
3, 9, and 7. Okay, Max, we're going to start with you. I'll be administering your questions in this round. You selected the number 3 for your 2-point question. The number 3 corresponds to Pixar. And your 2-pointer is thus. Which Pixar film features Tom Holland and Chris Pratt as Ian and Barely Lightfoot, brothers on a quest to temporarily bring back their dead father?
It was the last movie I saw before everything shut down. It's called Onward.
Onward and Upward, Maxwell. You are correct, and you get the 2 points for that, bringing us to a tie. So now we're going to bounce over to Mr. Marzoña, who selected the number 6. The number 6, Alex. The 1970s. The 1970s. And Steph is going to ask you your question in the 1970s.
Alrighty. Alex, this classic horror film about a group of friends who fall victim to a family of cannibals while on their way to visit an old homestead was released in 1974. Answer in 5, 4.
Is it The Hills Have Eyes?
2. That is incorrect. What we're looking for is the movie that scarred me forever. That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Let's watch that.
Chainsaw Massacre, but it's okay. Still tied. It's still tied, so we're actually going to bounce back to Max Haddad for his 3-point question. His 3-point question now. Max, you selected the number 9. The number 9 corresponds to Mr. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
I've heard of him.
And your question for 3 points. In 2004's Collateral, who plays undercover narcotics detective Ray Fanning, whose informant was Tom Cruise's Vincent's first victim of the night? Need to answer in 5, 4, 3.
Let's
2.
repeat it.
All right, that's your second repeat. In 2004's Collateral, who plays undercover narcotics detective Ray Fanning, whose informant was Tom Cruise's Vincent's first victim of the night?
I'm not sure. My gut is saying Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem is incorrect. We're looking for Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo. So we're going to keep bouncing back and forth here. We're going to put the pressure now on Mr. Marzoña, who selected the number 13, which corresponds to Miss Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron. And 3 points. The question is from Steph.
All right, Marzoña. Charlize Theron featured alongside this Lord of the Rings alum in the post-apocalyptic survival film, The Road.
That would be Viggo Mortensen.
My mom's crush that isn't my dad, Viggo Mortensen, is correct for 3 points for Marzoña.
All right, so that puts Alex Marzoña up 18-15. So this is where we are right now. Mad Max now will have to answer his 5-point question. If he does so successfully, Marzoña will then have to answer his 5 to win the match. If Max misses, Alex Marzoña is your number 1 contender. Only here on the FCL. Man, am I nervous. Max, your category.
You're nervous.
Yes, your category. You selected the number 7, if I have my correct. And that is Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. And your question in the realm of Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford voices a dog named Rooster in this 2019 animated film. Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
For your last repeat, Harrison Ford voices a dog named Rooster in this 2019 animated film.
Congratulations, Alex. I have no idea.
And your winner and the new number 1 contender, Alex the Melody Marzoña. Looking for the Secret Life of Pets 2. Secret Life of Pets 2 is the answer. Incredible. Alex Marzoña, your winner, Steph.
It's so exciting. Like, I could have been happy if either of these two won. These are two of my favorite competitors. I really enjoy both of them, but you can't help but to be happy for a guy like Alex Marzoña, who is so awesome, so kind, and really came out to kill today. Like, he just was on his game.
It was impressive when he took movie release dates, because it's a category that so many have avoided.
Yeah.
For so long. And the fact that he went for it completely and then crushes it, even with that Pixar category, it was so impressive from him. I'm beyond impressed by Alex Marzoña, who now ties Travis Fishburne with the best record in the league currently, 4-0. Impressive. That's all I can say. And you know what? Mad Max put up a hell of a fight. Comes down to a 5-pointer for both men. You can't really do too much about that. You either know the answer or you don't. Secret Life of Pets 2. I had no recollection of that film even being released in 2019, let alone Harrison Ford's involvement of it. So I don't think Max is alone there. We're going to go to our winner, though, right now. We're going to go to Alex Marzoña, your new number 1 contender. Steph, take it away.
Marzoña, number one contender. You're now 4-0, as Brad stated, tied up with who is competing for the belt today, Travis Fishburne. And I have to ask, first of all, how do you feel now you're gonna go up for the belt?
I thought I would have less stress, but now I'm getting more stressed that I have to think about the belt again, or think, I can't even talk right now. This was a really well fought match. I mean, Maxwell nailed all his questions. It's just that third round. Oh, I feel there was a bit of wording there I was a little bit confused about, and I completely get it. But great questions, great match overall. I'm happy with the result.
I can't help but to be happy for you, Alex. You're one of the coolest, nicest dudes that I know. So it's always cool to see cool people winning, which could have been the case for Mad Max too, because I feel very similar about him as well. But when you're thinking about going up against the Flaus or Travis Fishburne, any feeling which one you would prefer to take on next?
Well, they're both in the championship for a reason. They're both contending for that title for a reason. Obviously, I've met the Flaus a few times on SCN Live. I've seen Travis's matches. They're both got some knowledge, and I'm just excited to play either of them. I'm excited to watch that match later today.
Can you talk to me about your process of elimination for that Pixar question?
Well, I just went year by year in the 2010s. 2014 was the first one I identified that didn't have one, and then I just kept on going just in case, just to be sure. And I just had to have more time for that, and luckily, process of elimination helped me so much there.
You think SEN Live hosting that show every day has given you an edge on movie release dates, since you're talking about it constantly?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's doing all the research for the show, compiling notes and everything. That did help me a lot.
Well, Alex, how are we celebrating, and when do we get more Marzoña music, since you are indeed the melody?
Ooh, I might be grabbing a guitar and doing a little score for the Wangers for Amateur Hour Films. And you know what? I'm seeing Last Night in Soho tonight. That's how I'm gonna celebrate.
Hey, heck yes. Well, congrats again, Marzoña. I can't wait to see you competing for that belt. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Bye, Steph. Bye, Maxwell. Good match.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. He does it. We got a little insight into, I guess, movie release dates might be a strength of his moving forward, the way that he just powered through that. Yeah. I'm sure other competitors are going to look at that. Let's go to Max, though. Max had a great match, great rounds, had a one point, was down by 1 after round 1, down by 2 after round 2, but still not something that you can't come back from. Just didn't know the 5. I mean, they came out of that 5-point question. Didn't know it. Who knows what Alex's would have been? And if Alex would have known it, I mean, there's so many ifs in this game. But let's take it to Max, who I'm sure is less than pleased with the result. He now ends the season at 3-2, but still, I think season 2 looks so great for this guy.
It really does.
Let's take it away, Steph.
Mad Max, I said it to Alex, I'll say it again. You are one of my favorite competitors. I could have been equally as excited if you won. Obviously, that wasn't the case for today, but I want to hear on your end of things. How are you feeling about it, and Alex coming out with that win today as we end our season?
Listen, I feel great. I did all right. Sometimes the questions don't go your way. Maybe there's one question I should have challenged because it was worded a little weird. I'll take that up with Paul later. Blaming Paul is an easy thing to do. But at the end of the day, I feel like I accomplished 2 things. One, to quote Gladiator, are we not entertained? Of course you are, FCL. You had a great time. Season 1 was dope as heck. And season 2 is going to be even better, especially with me involved in the syndicate. Number 2, it's easy for me to be upset about this, but I did kind of win a Tony a few weeks ago. So this is like, frankly, not as important, and I'll just go cuddle with my Tony in bed tonight, and I'll be fine.
I loved that answer. You gave me a quote from a great movie, and you also informed me that you won a Tony, so congratulations on that. That's pretty epic.
Thank you, Thank you.
But in terms of today's match, I do think it's like you did have a great match. You were only down 1 going into round 2, down 2 going into round 3, but then you you tied up the game after you hit your 2-pointer. So really, it's not like you did anything bad. I think Alex just really had a great match, and the questions he was able to answer those questions. But I want to know in this off season, what does the syndicate meetups look like? What's the study sessions?
I would tell you, Steph, but it's not just your earrings that would be missing if you found out that information.
Oh my God. Okay, so I got a quote today. I got news about a Tony, and I got a threat. I'm pretty good. I'm ending this season pretty good if I end up.
I aim to please.
Well, Mad Max, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see what you and the syndicate do next season, and I'm sure it's going to be chaos as ever. But I hope you have a great
chaos and bloodshed, baby. Chaos and bloodshed.
Snuggling with that Tony. We'll see you later.
Max better send us a picture of him cuddling.
Yeah, we need the picture. He ended us with another note, though. Chaos and bloodshed.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, that's not ominous at all. Well, guys, congratulations to Alex Marzoña for being the new #1 contender. And still, we have more to come. We have 2 more matches here today. Coming up next, late to the party, it is a double retirement celebration, if you will, between the two of them. Robert versus Vanessa for the very first time in Movie Trivia Schmodown history. They will take on each other in an officially sanctioned match. Who will win? We'll find out. This is FCL Warfare. We'll be right back.